this computer. All right, I think we're live here recording from my studio here.
That's right, back in the studio.
This is Betsy Walker and Jeff Ackerman here. We're excited to be with you today. I'm going to share a story with you that's quite, I guess, scary. It was for me, and I think that you will all probably benefit from it. So I've asked Jeff here today to talk a little bit about some strategies that I've used to stay healthy and to kind of get out of the woods, so to speak, right?
Peace of mind.
Yeah, peace of mind. So in a way, I'm going to act like I don't know a lot so that I can ask Jeff the questions that you might all be asking him. And, just so that, we can really fill you in on the whole picture of this. Yeah, so first of all, it was in 2019 I came to you, Jeff, and I was kind of freaked out. I was going through menopause in my 50s, and I was not feeling great and whatever. So Jeff said, well, why don't you get some blood tests done, right?
Yes.
And I had a battery of tests done through a scientific scientist that Jeff knows, and the results weren't great. They were kind of scary.
Right.
In fact, I went because I was kind of concerned about breast cancer. I have breast cancer in my family, and I was worried that maybe my numbers might be elevated. And so we did a battery of tests, which includes a marker for breast cancer, yep, and also some other markers. And so when I found out that, no, I didn't have anything wrong in terms of my breast cancer markers, but I did have something wrong in terms of my cervical cancer numbers.
Right.
So that was pretty shocking to me. And then when I look back into family history, there is one cousin that has had some issues with cervical cancer. So I thought, wow, this is something I need to really look into.
Absolutely.
So we're going to backtrack a little bit, and I want to ask Jeff a little bit about a product that he suggested I use, and I've used for quite a few years. And it really helps your body kind of take care of itself,
It's the food.
Yeah, right. So Jeff, can you tell us a little bit about why you would want to look into more of this holistic type health solution versus going right after it the way Western medical would be and say, okay, let's do a battery of tests and then let's see, what kind of drugs to throw at you.
Absolutely.
Or chemotherapy or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, so we're talking about liquid gold and iHercules, which is the predecessor of the liquid gold. And this technology has been around since the 50s. It's been around a long time. iHercules actually just came on the scene for the public here in December, but they've been using this technology for many years for people that want to reverse their age. So we're talking about age reversal and what that really means. See, you're not going to be 60 years old and look like you're 25. That's not what age reversal is. Yes, you're going to look younger for your age, but really what the goal is for your body to have a better immune response, because we're never going to stop viruses, pathogens, chemicals from coming into the body. It's a fact. So this is a result of actually many years of intense research studying the Black Plague, Spanish flu, World War I, where they used chemical weapons on their people's bodies. So this science team has been doing this since the 70s. And so those atrocities gave them lessons, and that's what this is. This is a result of those lessons. So what they understood was your immune system is designed to keep the body clean and to fight these things and beat these things every day. But what happens, because our food is so contaminated in this country, even the water in the soil is contaminated. So even if you're eating organic food, we're still poisoning the body. So what happens when those poisons enter the body? Well, it causes the microcirculation to close. That's the little tiny vessels. You can actually fit 100 of those in the size of a human hair. That's the branches that hit the cells. That's 74% of the blood in our body. When that gets clogged, bad things happen because it causes chronic inflammation. And we all know inflammation in the vascular system is huge. So one of the markers that we do on the blood work is the high sensitive C-reactive protein, which is the whole body inflammation marker. This is what your cardiologist will look at as well, because when that's closed, the number is going to be high. In fact, when you look at the blood, it'll actually say future risk for cardiac event. That's what that marker means. Now, we understand you're supposed to be under 1. The range is from 1 to 3. Anything between 1 and 3 actually is not good. You want to be under 1. And we're going to go over your results and actually show that. So anti-aging or age reversal is what we're talking about. And what that means is when the circulation is clean and open, your immune response is much quicker. Like when you're a child and you're exposed to a virus or a pathogen or chemicals, the body acts very quickly and it removes and cleans that out. So they're not affected like an older person. But after years of eating this contaminated food and being exposed to toxins, now when we get hit with a virus or a chemical or a pathogen, our immune response is much slower. And so bad things will happen. And obviously, statistics are showing it. Now, we all know that if you had no exposure to these things, you'd live a stronger, younger, longer life, right? Mm-hmm. But the exposure to these is what shortens our lives. So this technology has been shown to reverse age up to 30 years. And so what that means is your body's acting like you're 30 years younger. Now, guys, the only way this can happen is if the body produces new cells that have longer telomeres at the end of the DNA, just like when you were younger. So all the technologies out there that are trying to do age reversal, they're trying to lengthen the telomere that you have currently on the end of your DNA. Well, that's impossible. You can't do it, right? So what you can do, though, is the body has the ability to make new cells and get rid of those old cells quicker. But it has to have the circulation system open, because if you have a problem, your immune system's focused on that, not helping reverse your age. So let's just kind of go over basically what was happening on your life. You had called me, you said that you had just went and saw a pretty well-known doctor because you were concerned about breast cancer. Just walk us through what the traditional ways of trying to detect that is.
Right. So I actually had, I typically do thermograms instead of mammograms because I'm always freaked out about too much radiology, you know, the radiation. So my thermogram showed that I should probably have some things checked out. And that means that there was extravascular stuff going on, could have been lymphatic stuff or whatever. So I went and I had a sonogram done. And the woman, she was a medical doctor, very well known here in the Denver area. And she did a sonogram. And she's like, oh, you know, something's in there. You know, we see some calcium, which gives them a warning, basically, when you have calcium deposits in your breast tissue. And so she's like, well, you need to have a biopsy. Okay. And this is a big deal, right? A biopsy. And so I was freaked out because I'm like, I don't really want to, you know, mess up anything in my breast tissue, right? I was kind of freaked out. And then I have also talked to other knowledgeable people in the health field saying that, you know, we can all have calcium deposits and they're not really, doesn't mean you have cancer.
Correct.
So so I went to Jeff and I was, you know, you're worried when you get this kind of stuff, you know, especially when you have, like, I have breast cancer a lot on my father's side and my mother. So, you know, it's a big deal.
Absolutely.
Right. And so Jeff, like I said, suggested I get these tests done, which we're gonna go over here pretty soon. Just so I would have another, I guess, perspective in terms of what was happening with my health. Absolutely. Now, this is not the kind of stuff that a regular medical doctor would do. And I wonder why, Jeff. Why do you think that they don't?
Well, you know, the American Medical Association says that with any diagnosis, they're supposed to do blood work to follow it up, but it's not a law. And so the doctors are taught that the CT scan or the PET scan or x-rays, that is the best way to determine if you have cancer. But really what they're doing is they're guessing. And to be honest, on their statistics, it shows 63% of the time that blood work is done, they're guessing wrong. So that's a pretty high number. So blood work is definitely definitive. You can see exactly what's going on in the body through the blood work. And so I said, let's do the blood work and give you peace of mind, because obviously if the cancer antigens aren't elevated and they're in the normal range, well, I mean, you can figure it out. So why don't we go ahead and post some of your results, but we'll do the first ones.
We're going to share these results here. And we'll just share our screen here. All right. right. So just make sure I'm sharing the right part. Yeah, here we go. So this is, what is this, Jeff?
Okay, so right here you can see the C-reactive protein, and that's what I was speaking about. This is relative risk for future cardiovascular events. This is a whole body inflammation marker. It's the high sensitive CRP. And if you look at the range on here, it shows you the normal range is from 1 to 3. Under 1 is good. Anything above 1 is average, and 3 is high, right? So now if we look at your number, we can see that you're at 1.1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we understand that under 1 is optimal. 0.5 is perfect. So I can see right here that you have more inflammation in your vascular system than you should have. And let me tell you guys, 99% of the people walking around in America, this is what they have. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this means that the microcirculation is closed and can lead to problems.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's go to the chest cancer marker that shows your chest, breast, or lung tissue. This is all of the tissue. And let's look at the numbers here.
This is the one here?
Yeah, the CA 2729.
Okay.
Okay, so when you look at this number that says that the range is from 0 to 38.6, as you can see, what's your number?
15.4.
15. So you're normal. That means that you don't have any elevated cancer antigens in this area.
Mm-hmm.
So this is peace of mind. This is blood work.
Right.
So there's no guessing. You can see it right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's look at the cervix, because we do a complete panel so I can see everything. And let's look at your cervical markers.
So let's see.
CA 125.
CA 125. I hear.
Okay, so now if we look at this one, same range is 0 to 38.1. And what is your marker at?
45.4.
So you have elevated cancer antigens in the cervix.
Right.
The chest cancer markers are normal, but the elevated markers in the cervix are showing high.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you go in and you're healthy and you don't have any issues, that number should be in the normal range. So we can see right in the blood work that there's something going on,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
So now let's go ahead and go forward 2 months using liquid gold and iHercules, this type of technology. This is just food, guys. And so what happens is when your body gets the right food, it builds better blood.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can see all these numbers in your blood markers of what's going on. And we're just touching on a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
But when your body starts to get the right nutrition, food is the building blocks of blood. And again, in this country, because of the soil and the water, even if you eat organic food, you're not going to get enough for the body to change. But through this premium technology where your body's getting pure plant extracts, no synthetics,
Mm-hmm.
and no poisons, now your body's building better blood. And if you can build better blood, your blood can clean itself out.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to fast forward here. Now we're into, what was the months on that last one? That was August.
It was in August. Now we're into
October.
October. And
So
the
2 months later.
Yeah, early October. And just to give you all a little idea of what I actually did was I used the technology, the spray, which Jeff's going to show you here. I used this.
So it's just a spray.
I did 6 sprays 3 times a day.
You spray it in your mouth.
And so that's more than the regular recommended maintenance dose, but I did it for 6 weeks.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. So what we recommend is if there is a condition that you do up to 8 sprays 3 times a day, and you do that every day, and you do follow-up blood work, and we can track how your body's picking up this premium nutrition,
Mm-hmm.
making better blood, and we can see changes in your blood work so we know the body's going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, by bringing the inflammation markers down in the body, the blood has the ability to clean that up. Now the system's opening up. So let's go ahead and look at that CA 125 again, which is the cervical cancer marker. And as you can see, what is your number now after those 2 months?
It's now 13.
13.
So it was 45.
So you went from a 45 to a 13. So
right.
now you're in normal range,
Mm-hmm.
which means the system's open and clean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now for guys, when the system's open and clean, they start waking up like they're a teenager again. Guys should always wake up like this, guys. In this country, we would believe once you get past 50 that you're not going to wake up like that anymore, but that's not normal. We think it's normal because that's what we've been taught, but no, we should. And it's not a sexual thing. It just means the system's open and clean. So if our vascular system is the same as yours, you just don't have an indicator, you know that it's working for you as well as if it's working for the men. So obviously blood work is definitive. It gave you what? Peace of mind.
Right. Exactly.
You know that your body's going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
So now that she gets the body in the right direction, you go to 4 sprays once a day as a maintenance to help the body keep that open. And so that's all this is. So now her body is able to react to things quicker, like when she was younger. And so with the iHercules, which is the new product, this is the same as liquid gold, only it has few extra plants in it that are known for major age reversal. And we've documented through a government accredited lab that we can reverse age up to 30 years. And that's documented through a blood test. And that lab was started by one of the ladies that won the Nobel Prize for anti-aging science. That's the best technology we have for determining age. And all they do is test your blood. So they don't know what we're doing. We just send our blood to them. They tell us how old we are. So with that documented proof, that's pretty substantial. Your body is now acting like it did years earlier.
Right.
And so now you have a better quality of life. And so I like to talk about what that really means is if the immune system's response is quicker, now you're able to start doing things like you did when you were younger because it affects your entire body. Like I was just talking to my daughter the other day, you know, when I woke up in the morning, it used to be like a train wreck, the way I felt in the mornings. That's completely gone. We just went through a major snowstorm where we got like 2.5 foot of snow, and I went out and shoveled and shoveled. The next day, guys, I would be a wreck. And it's like I'm a kid again. I went out and shoveled all day yesterday, went and played in the snow, even got our vehicle stuck, towing the kids around on the snowboards. And I woke up in the morning like 100%. Like this is life-changing, guys. Now, I've been on this for 5 years. So I've been on it for a long time. So that's what you have in store for the future. But everybody that's on this technology, it's allowing the body to start cleaning up that microcirculation. So that's the path we're heading on. So this is very exciting.
Yeah, so we, you know, just to give my, take on it too, I am like going so much stronger than I was, even a year ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I get up at like 4:30 in the mornings and I take my
She's a
daughter to
workhorse.
hockey, and I'm going usually till about 10 o'clock at night. So I won't, deny that I am tired at night, but it's the fact that I can do that at age 53 and all the, that I'm doing for work. It's pretty amazing that
Absolutely.
I have this energy. And I just know it's going to get better and better because now I'm also taking iHercules. So that just became available in December.
Right.
And so now we have the actual reverse aging where we're actually creating healthier cells, which
Right.
keeps us younger. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, and just
for
to give
what's
you a
to
little bit
come.
of the different product, the liquid gold is designed to give you the food so the body can open up the microcirculation. The iHercules is a step above that. So it has everything that you need in liquid gold, but we were allowed to bring the age reversal, which is the part of it that once the microcirculation is open and clean, it is designed, these plants that are coming in are to help the body's blood get rid of old cells faster and produce new younger cells quicker. And those younger cells have longer telomeres, and that's how they determine that we're able to reverse age that much further. So it's really a huge step above the liquid gold by itself. Liquid gold is great, but iHercules is just like, oh my gosh, the fountain of youth is here. And so again, just to kind of reiterate, guys, it's about doing things that you were able to do when you were younger. Like she's an avid skier, professional skier, almost went into the Olympics, but you had a back injury. Well, all your cells turn over in 7 years. So this gives you the possibility for your back to heal back like what it was when you were younger, so you can do those types of things and hike and bike and whatever you guys enjoy doing to give you a better quality of life. That's what this is really about. And so this is our journey, and we want to obviously invite you guys to take part in the same thing that we're doing.
Well, I think it's also really important now with all that we have going on in our world with COVID that we take the best care of our bodies that we
Absolutely.
can to have the best chance of our immune system working the way it should. And this is something that, will do that, will help us be the strongest that we can be. So I want to share it with as many people as I can.
Absolutely.
And I am so grateful that that they allowed this, the age reversal part of this to come to market for us as just, anybody that can buy it. Previously, as I understand it, Jeff, you had to have a lot of money.
Yeah,
in
very
order
expensive.
to go through this, because in the testing phase where they were actually tracking the lab results of people, it was costing up to $30,000,
up to $50,000.
Yeah,
so very expensive, not attainable for people. but because of what our marketing program put together and being allowed to bring this to the public, we were able to make this affordable for everyone, because the masses would not have access to this. I mean, who has that kind of money to be able to go out and do this? The other thing that I want to touch on too is for animals. You know, animals have the same microcirculation in their body. Their immune system works the same and their blood works the same. And so the thing about animals that's different, their lifespan's shorter. They metabolize much faster. And because they have to hunt to eat, their bodies heal faster. So they'll heal 5 times faster than a human. So the stories with the animals is just absolutely incredible. And we're going to do one for just pets, but I'll just give you a quick story. One of the people that's actually in this company utilizing the products, their dog actually had been laying down for about 4 days. And this dog normally was running around like, you know, a normal adult puppy, and not puppy, but an adult dog. And anyways, they took it to the vet, and the vet did a screening on this animal and said, when it comes to a heart murmur, on a scale of 1 to 5, 6 being dead, their dog was at a 4. And they said, well, what can we do, you know, to help them out? And they said, well, there's nothing that we can do. You're just going to have to go home and make your dog as comfortable as possible. And there's nothing we can do to reverse it. So they had a cardiologist flown in to do the echocardiogram and do their own analysis as well. And they came back and said, yeah, for sure the dog's at a 4. So they took the dog home and they said, well, why don't we just spray the spray in the dog's mouth? So they did this, and literally in a week and a half, the dog is running around like a puppy again. The animals will be a miracle right in front of you guys. It's amazing how quickly their body responds to this. And remember, they're not out drinking. They're not out doing drugs. Yes, they are exposed to chemicals on lawns and things like that, but they're not damaging their body like a human will do. And so their response is much faster. So if you want to see this in action, watch your pets. This is the same thing that's going to happen for you. It just takes a little longer for humans. So, you know,
well, and you know, I've been giving it to my pet.
Oh yeah.
My dog Peeper, for gosh, it's almost, I think, a couple of years. She had some blood tests where her liver numbers were bad.
Right.
She has a tendency to get into things. And she'll like eat too much of something bad for her if like she sneaks it.
Right.
And so I had some tests done for her, and they were very elevated. I was really worried because she's like my baby and I care so much about her. You know, she's like a kid to me, right? Yeah. And so I decided, well, I'm going to give her liquid gold because we didn't have Hercules at the time. And we did a few months, like 4 months later, we did follow-up tests, and all her liver numbers were fine. Yeah. So maybe we'll do a review of those if I can pull those out. But since, you know, and she's amazing. She's 11 now, and she acts like a puppy, especially in the morning and at night. She runs around like crazy, like a puppy. But I started giving her Hercules in January. So I'm excited because I want her to live. So she's a Portuguese water dog, and I've never had a Portuguese water dog live past 14. Right. And so I just can't even think about losing her. Yeah. I mean, she's like, you know, she's an amazing dog, just so
always there for us.
She's got a personality like no other dog I've ever had, and she's my 5th Portuguese water dog. Not that I didn't love all the other ones, but that she's my baby. And so so I'm hoping to get her a lot of years out of her.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if you think about it, you know, pets, they don't have the ability to choose this great nutrition as their parents. Right. We're able to give this to them and provide for them in a way that they couldn't provide for themselves. Exactly. You know, so it's amazing that we have this impact on these animals that give so much back to us. Right. And everything that we need, they're there for us. So, you know, this is just so exciting, guys. There's nothing on the planet that's like it. It can't be duplicated. I mean, just to come up with a platform of what this team has discovered would take people 30 to 40 years just figuring out the best parts of the food. And then, you know, to be able to get it put together so the body still sees it as food, you know, it's just night and day difference from companies that are creating marketing products to go out there and sell to the public. So we're just blessed to have this. So
yeah. Well, this is exciting. I'm excited to be able to share this video with so many people. And if you see this video, I just please do share. If you need any more information, you're welcome to reach out to myself or Jeff. You can always reach me at betsywalkerwellness@gmail.com. And Jeff, do you have a way for them to reach you?
Yeah, actually, it's good if they can get to you, but
Okay.
if somebody introduced you to this video, get back to them, and then you can get to us, and we're going to keep posting these. So
yeah, so it's really important you ask questions. We have some videos on our Hercules that we can send people, very short informational videos, so you can get some more information. But I hope this is helpful for you. And you know, if you are struggling with your health or you're worried, oh my gosh, you need to try this. It's just,
absolutely,
we're just so blessed to be able to have this opportunity to keep ourselves healthy. So, all right, well, I guess we'll say goodbye for now. Thanks, Jeff.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys. Take care.